allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, all coming. We're going to start by having a budget public hearing. We have to do this because for fire and ambulance budget, we were not able to approve those during the annual meeting in July because they were up for vote. And both of them passed, so now we can. Does anybody have any questions on the budget at all for fire and ambulance? No? No. Okay. So, we will be looking at an increase because our taxable value increased a little bit over the prior year. I guess we can open it up to public comment if there is any on the budget for fire and ambulance. No? Okay.
Where's, just out of curiosity, where's the transfer of the 11.7? Is that from fire and, I don't remember.
The 11.7 is from fire.
From fire?
Yep, that's for the pumper company.
What line item is that in?
It should be. Where is that? The 11. Where is that one? Can you see it?
No, okay,
Transfer
well,
out.
it's 2,000.
It's on last month's stuff.
Yeah, it was. I don't understand. It was on there. This was on there. It's 11.5. It gets
Okay,
transferred
well,
in.
if it's there, this
Yeah,
way
it's
we
no.
know.
I don't know why it's not on here. It's a zero on this.
All right,
I can find it and see if it's corrected in here.
I might have printed the wrong one.
Maybe this was. Yeah, we got a bunch of
You
copies,
know
but
what?
it should be.
I printed the wrong one, Richard. I'm pretty sure this is, and I don't know, but
Because
the other one had different dates on it too, so.
it should be the transfer out. Oh, there, right there. It's blurred out. See that? That does say 11,715. See all the 11s? It's right at the bottom. Because the balance is 46 for this year. Once we transfer out 11, then it goes down every year by 11.7 for the repayment over the 5 years.
All right.
So it is right at the bottom. You guys see it under 206.
Right there.
It's just the printer left out. It looks like a one. It looks like 1715, but it's 111715. Just an error in
Yeah,
the bottom there.
I think the auditor recommended and entered a new number, so that number may change from transfer out to something else. I don't have it right here, but just so everybody knows, I mean, it's the same amount, so.
Okay.
And it's, by budget, not by line item.
All right. So we can go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:04. 7:03. Okay. All right. So we'll call the regular meeting to order at 7:04. I need a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll make that one.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay?
Okay. All right.
I have a question regarding that. Is there, a time when the outstanding checks will be resolved, the ones from 8 years ago that have been a source of contention since
You're working
the
on
audit
it.
of last
Oh my
year?
God, they're just sitting on the desk.
Two of them, you got two of them, yes, she's slowly going through and getting the people to come in and so we can get them right to them. So there are two of them sitting at the desk, so two of them can get
To what?
two checks.
How did they check? I do the checks.
No, the list is sitting there.
Yeah, I'm the one that issues checks. That's why I'm asking is because nothing's come to me. I don't know if stop payments have been made. I don't know where we are with it. It's been going on for for quite a few years here, so.
Yeah, it's just double checking.
Is that gonna get, resolved before the new board takes over?
Probably not all of them, no.
Okay.
All right, so let's go into reports. Chief, what you got?
All right. We right now are running about 10% above our average on calls. this year so far. I handed out everybody I am proposing a wage increase for the fire department members. Right now, we're presently getting $15 an hour, and I would like to propose this to go to $20 an hour. $20 a call and $20 an hour after that. On this piece of paper, the fire chief, the Manistee County Fire Association went through and they had all the different chiefs submit where their numbers are at for their departments, where they're getting paid. So I would like to propose this to the board, for a fire department wage increase. Also, it's extremely dry out there right now. A lot of people think we've had a lot of rain, but it is dry. Today, we are, majority of the county, majority of the northern lower has been closed, and we will be closed again probably for the next week on burning. So any open burning, anybody out here that's doing open burning, please be careful. If you start a fire, you will be liable for it. If your fire burns down your neighbor's property, you will be liable for it. And so, that's pretty much that. Otherwise, everything else is good. We got a lot of training coming up. We have,
Testing tomorrow.
yep, people drive by, they'll see a lot of engines sitting in our station tomorrow. We're doing our annual pump testing, where they have to certify our pumps and make sure everything is good. And so, yeah, just a lot of trainings. Runs on about 10% up, and I wanted to go over the wage increase. And so, that's all I got. Ron, you got anything with anyone?
No, other than that, that's what I think I'm down. You know, for, just turtles.
Oh. Yeah, we're good.
So Jake, you're proposing a an increase to $20 for, meetings that are attended by your staff, ambulance and fire, correct?
Yes, yep,
Okay.
we pay for our meetings, and then we pay $20, right now we're paying $15 a call, and $15 an hour after that. And so, right now I am posing $20 an hour for a meeting, and $20 per call, and $20 for each hour after the call. So if we're on call for 4 hours, we got one call, that's $20, we're on it for 4 hours, you add another $80.
Is that paid to the employees? I'm lost here, I'm sorry. Is this employee wages?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so those that are making $12 are gonna go to 20, those that are
Yeah.
making, excuse me, 15 are going to 20?
Everybody's going to 20.
Everybody 20?
Everybody, I'm proposing everybody's going to 20. We're all putting in our time, and the people that don't have all the other certification are putting in just as much time and as much training as what we are. And
So, do we need to create a line item for that, just that's training wages specific? Are you going to, need to monitor that specifically under the wages?
He's not just talking training, he's talking wages too. Wages for calls, for meetings, everything.
Yeah, our meetings, when we have a meeting on Tuesdays,
That's a significant increase for the $12 ones.
what was that, Glenn?
That's a significant increase for the ones that were at $12.
Well,
I mean, for
would
the
you
ones
get
that
up
are
at 2 o'clock in the morning for $12 an hour and go waddle through somebody's?
Could I ask a question?
No.
It's,
And so that's what I'm proposing is.
so, so the ones that are 15 only get 5, but the ones that have been at 12 get $7.50 more, right? So,
Yep.
how does the rank and file feel about that? Instead of doing it on a percentage of increase.
Well, I don't think anybody's gonna have an issue with my department about that right now.
Well, I thought it was based on, what their level of skill was. There was firefighter one, there's ones that have, more certification, there's one that have dual trainings.
No, that's not
not
any
based on
on how
anything?
that is done. Right now, if you're a firefighter, you get $15 an hour. If you're a medical, it doesn't matter if you're EMT or an MFR, you are getting $15 an hour. If you are certified in emergency vehicle driving, where you can drive the ambulance, you can drive the fire truck, the water tenders, they are getting, right now, they're getting $12 an hour.
So those people are gonna go to the,
20, they're going to the 20.
and they are just drivers?
Yeah, because without the drivers, we can't fight fire.
And these are the comparisons for the other?
Yeah, some as high as $50 an hour.
Yeah, some of these are bigger communities. Where's the 50?
Arcadia, the top one.
Oh, yeah, they got a lot of money. So does Bear Lake. The other ones,
Fair
So are we
Lake's
not-
poverty level
but-
is the same as Norman Township.
Yes.
So, again, I mean, we still need people to respond. We still need to take care of our guys that are giving up time on their jobs.
Last
Have we call
weekend,
up days?
Labor Day weekend was the first weekend, holiday weekend, that the individuals on Norman Township Fire actually had to have the whole weekend off. We never had a call over the whole weekend. We paid for it after that. But we don't get weekends off, we don't get evenings off, it's 7 days a week.
And, our guys and gals are getting up at 3 in the morning, up all night, having to go to work the next day. Some of them are calling off that job.
And that's the other reason
Well, not
why.
everybody's all responding to everyone either, they kind of.
No, right now, if we get a call right now, pretty much everybody in this room will go, and my department and every truck will be out on the road.
If they don't go, they don't get paid.
If they don't go, they don't get paid. And so,
Traditionally, the same people do the work. When I do payroll, it seems that way.
We're trying to incentivize keeping, don't be like young men like Brett, everything else, to keep them coming back and not lose them.
all right, then you gotta remember, we
Because
got,
if it is so easy, then how come we don't have 300 people knocking down the doors?
yeah,
I mean, anybody in this community wants to say, I'll say, we gotta have applications.
yep.
I mean, and it's getting harder and harder to find, what are we, 2,500 EMT short in the state of Michigan right now, is that what you told me? So that it goes something like that? Yeah, and I don't know how many firefighters.
50 a couple classes.
Yeah, so, do you want us to decide this tonight, if you wanna?
If we could, and at the end of the meeting, maybe put it under new business.
So we actually need to add new business for the grant funding for purchase of the generator and computer and other election equipment with the total of $15,000 in grants. And then 5 will be the fire department rate increase.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it, Jack. I just, a lot of times, to do a bigger raise for some and a lesser raise for others, it just creates not.
Well, to me, everybody,
I mean,
it
you wouldn't
doesn't,
get me out of bed well, you do.
to me, it doesn't matter if you're certified to drive a truck, or if you're certified to do an EMT position, or if you're a certified firefighter. I can't do it, Norman Township cannot do it without everybody that's on that department right now.
Right, yeah, I'd have. to
And
pay
we are
for
getting
all
called,
employees
just
to make
so you know,
at least 15.
We are getting called into Dixon Township, we're getting
Oh,
called
yeah.
into Maple Grove Township, we're getting called as far as Cabernet Peaks for our firefighters. And so, so we're covering a lot of stuff,
Right.
so.
And our call volume almost matches Manistee Township.
Oh, yeah, it's gone up significantly. I know, even just, in the 2 years I've been here. It appears to, I know, it's not.
It has a lot.
All right,
Yeah, I think under consideration should be some employee increase in wages as well. The ones that are making under 15 an hour.
okay, go on to assessor.
20% are completed, working on just deeds and PTAs. We'll be working on, starting on sales studies in November and December. Custodian, Tim, you got anything?
Yep. I talked to you the other day, I didn't get it to you earlier, but this is a little blower buggy. There's a picture on the back.
Oh, yep.
If you wanna see it. It's just a belt that goes on the front of the zero turn, and the blower that we have right now sits right on it.
Oh, yeah, okay, I remember you telling me about this the other day.
Um,
You got the materials.
They're about one of the only ones around that I've tried researching different ways instead of trying to cobble it on the front of the lawnmower and wrecking it. I don't wanna do that. Bracket comes with it, hooks right to the front of it. It's got the zero turn wheels on the front, so it all swivels with it. Between the park, all the way around, and the backwaters that got hills and moss and stuff, it's a lot of pushing.
So it
I
just,
love the blower we have, but it's a lot of walking, a lot of pushing that thing
well, it's a lot of torque too.
around. Yeah,
That's got a lot of centrifugal force in it, it gets hard in your arms too. So this just straps on, you don't have to alter the blower at all.
I finally, I dealt with a couple of companies, and this company that I dealt with found, for some reason, found me the bracket that is manufactured to fit on, because there's, every bracket is different per zero turn. And when I dealt with the one company that I thought I could get it from, they could get me everything, but they said they didn't make the bracket. Then I called the next company, and they got me the bracket. So I told them the year that the zero turn, make and model, and they said, we got the bracket. So that's why I'm going with, went with them on Cadillac. Premium, finding the bracket, so.
Oh, yeah, I see it right here on the Kubota. Oh, they got all kinds of different attachments that can get on there.
Oh, yeah. The bracket action.
Uh-oh.
The bracket.
Reaction.
But as of what I do, I mean, the park is the biggest, but everything just kind of gets blown into a circle, and then with the back that we have, which I just try that out there. The other attachments on there, which I thought would be really neat, would be, they got a big plow that hooks to the front of it, and you can get your leaves from, because once you start blowing leaves and they get this high, you can't blow them no more. Actually, that's too high. You start doing that, and they start doing crazy things. So a lot of landscape companies get that rate that money's still from. I don't need anything like that as of right now, so.
So Tim, just because we have a steel backpack thing that when I put it on, it pretty much knocks you over. And it's a commercial grade one because we live in the forest, but, what is the difference in velocity or whatever they measure this stuff?
Oh, from your
between
backpack blower to that?
That to that.
This is 13 horsepower.
And that's not even a big, the one that we have is great, but that's not even a big one.
This is 13 horsepower, and what's the backpack one that you have? Do you know the model of the backpack one?
It's a VS 800.
Yeah.
And we're,
Who makes that?
Steel.
and we have the blower, we're just buying the attachment for it to run.
Oh, yeah.
We have the blower, we have a 13 horsepower Billy Goat?
It's a Billy
Billy
Goat.
Goat.
Yeah. And that does, like I said, is tremendous. I love it, but it's just, you walk, you have to go back and forth, because it only blows out one side. If it's mounted on the front of the zero turn, or I go in circles and just blow it all to a big circle.
Kenny used to have something similar years ago that
Used to pull behind the wall.
they used to pull it.
Yeah, supervisor was trying to say something, that there was a bracket or something, but I'm assuming that was an older, different lawnmower.
Yeah, that was
Different mower, different blower.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he has now?
that's what we have now.
It's
And if-
not a backpack?
I have a backpack.
We have one of those too.
We have both.
You push that thing around in the sand and dirt?
Yeah.
Well, that's the other
Oh, good
problem
Lord.
with these, if it gets up on a hill,
God.
Jason did it, I think.
if it gets up on a hill, it'll turn itself over.
Oh, trust me, it's a great exercise, but I've had it upside down where the back was, it's not a good thing.
The first year we moved here, we had one like that, we sold it. It's horrible.
They make that exact same one that he's probably showing you, you can get it also in, it's self-propelled, it's got a chain and a sprocket and everything.
They didn't make it then.
Right.
Can we sell that thing, the other one? I mean,
What
if
other?
we're not gonna use the one that we have?
Oh, no, we're using it,
Or you still have?
we're
used-
setting
It
it
goes on.
on.
It goes on this, all we're buying is the cart. All we're buying is this.
Oh,
Look at your next page that I handed you.
This mounts to our lawnmower. The blower sits on there.
oh, cause you're pushing it now.
And that way he can drive faster.
Meds,
So,
meds,
we're buying this part right here.
yeah, I get
The
it,
blower.
I'm sorry.
Yep. All right, we'll add that to item
Can we
6.
add that, yeah?
This has been talked about, there's
Oh.
2 options, you guys,
It's the bracket for the blower.
I'm going to,
Blower, jeez, all
which one did I put the asterisk by that one? That was the one that I would recommend.
right. Not the one you just showed me?
These are the Christmas lights.
Oh, lights, on the
They're
lights,
not
huh?
just Christmas lights, they're Christmas lights and you can change colors for Halloween, you can make it.
Holiday lights, holiday.
But they're on a timer, they can be,
150 feet is $384 for LED lights.
Who goes through?
and you guys will have to decide, so if you go down the north and south end of the building and the west side of the building, you need 300 feet. So you're looking at the one that I got the asterisk by, or 6 something,
$700. Not coming through your taxes.
and that's
Where's that from?
Amazon.
Is it?
Maybe there's a guy in here that can get us a good deal at Home Depot, I'm not sure, but I don't know if they have the same thing.
No, I mean, I looked at those online because I was considering doing it at my house. My concern with, are they the little square ones and then the tape thing that goes?
Yep.
And then they have, my concern was how they were securing them. If they're just a peel and stick
If I'm
thing,
not mistaken, it's a 3M, but they also, you can either get, or it comes with, I'd have to look at it again, an extra bracket. But
yeah,
I've
I
done the
mean, I
3M,
don't think that stick stuff is gonna last.
I've done the 3M
very
tape
long.
ones, and not here, but at my home, and it's, you can't hardly get them on.
Do we have an
You're gonna
over-
put it on the vinyl?
Do we have an overhang there?
I'm putting
I
it
don't- I
on,
don't
is
know.
that,
Yeah,
I'm
put
putting
it
it on
We
the,
have a 12-inch overhang.
Oh, we do.
socket.
Okay.
Well, we have 3M stuff on our wall, the fire department has been there for 10 years and it
Oh,
hasn't.
yeah, well, with an overhang, it probably would be okay.
So-
I don't know how often you power wash and whether they stand up and power wash
Both.
either, so maybe we wanna consider the brackets before this company doesn't exist.
Both of those lights are an app on your phone, one of them has a remote. And I thought, I'm not gonna leave the remote here, because then everybody that comes here is gonna play with the remote and change the colors. You can make half the building one color, or go every other. You guys, we talked about it, you guys
Right,
just
for a
figure-
year, oh, 2 years, I think.
if somebody else wants to do any more research on them, I've kind of exhausted myself on them. I watched YouTube videos because
Yeah, I kinda
there's
did, yeah.
thousands of them on Amazon, and I tried finding,
We'll add these 2 things to number 6.
Yeah, I mean, the only other option would be road blading, but, if you've ever put that stuff up, it's a real pain,
Yeah.
yeah.
5 years in this building and it's not easy.
and the only other thing that I had is Bill's new buildings in the works. I didn't want to take that from you, we're talking about that later.
We went and got materials the other day and I started on it, putzing on it in the evenings when I got a chance. But hopefully you have it done next week.
So by the time we're done with that, you're done with that, and you won't have to get out of the building.
No, got 2 windows.
Window
One in the front, one so we can see down the road, door on the other side. Should be all steel, so it won't rot. That was one thing that Tim asked me to do. He asked me to change from T111 to steel, so we didn't have to paint it, didn't have to rot. I got compression strip for the bottom, so there won't be any mice or anything getting in there. I'm gonna frame it all up, get it all ready, bring it over here, we'll electrify it, then throw the walls in, or the interior.
Were you able to get the steel at the same, cost, or did you go over?
No, it was like $1,800, so we had 2,000 into it,
Alright.
so we're good.
Awesome.
Yep.
I like it.
Alright, we're good on transfer station too, Tim? Oh, when do we wanna switch over to winter hours? We gonna do that this month? November 2nd, we're doing that?
It's on the card,
Okay.
isn't it?
That's what it
It's
usually
on the
is.
card.
Alright, I just wanna make sure, that's always a question that we have in there.
Usually the second, yeah, that week, whatever.
I'm sorry, when was it, November?
November 2nd. Alright, planning, we are working with, Bob and Ben have a list of some blight and junk that they've went through. They've had really good success with 4 right here locally. When the assessor was out, they found a list of about 10 others that they're having them look at, more for code violations and things like that. Besides that, slowing down, they are still working with the cellular company. Looks like that should all fit in the process, just waiting for them to send us an agreement and fill out a application. Once they do that, then we can get more into it, so. All right.
This is some dumb question. We used to have a tower out on Fabrique Highway.
Yeah.
Then there was one that was just decided to be removed.
I think they got an application on that. I thought I saw a removal of
That was a year ago. I think.
yeah, and they have a, I saw it, something about the bond that they had.
We literally have issues with the ambulance being able to send reports right now,
Yep.
when we get out in that part of the township.
And I don't know how much this one will do, but this is where they wanna put it. This is where they're saying their coverage is.
Where's that here on this property, or?
No, 6th and Boston, because this is our LZ and we do too many events and you would have guide wires going and this would be completely unusable for anything. So it was recommended by the planning commission and when I spoke with them on the phone last year, that's what took them about 6-7 months to get back. They refigured it, reconfigured it, sent it to Bob and Ben. It's 6th and Boston. Hopefully we have there's nothing to really talk about until we get their application filled out, and that's what they're trying to work with them right
When
now.
did the planning commission approve that site?
They didn't. They're applying for it. They haven't even applied. There's no approval until you have an application. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, so, and we had nothing, we all wanted to, I mean, how much of that 6th and Basham property is that, I mean, how big is that property and how much is this gonna take up as a potential lease, and
It's 5 acres.
it's 5 acres?
Yes.
And how much is required for the
The whole,
tower,
it's not all of it, but the whole thing is we don't use it for anything now.
and we have no desire to use it in the future? I mean, those cell towers tend to tie stuff up for quite a few years, what about 20, 15,
25 is
25?
what the tentative when I was on the phone with their attorney. So once we have any of that agreement, I'll present it to the board. Once they submit the plans, we have that agreement, so they submit an application. So, and then it'll go through the planning, and it does fit in our zoning, so it's just been a bunch of preliminary stuff right now. It does work with our zoning in that it's an acceptable use. It has to go through the planning stage, but nothing can happen until, not even planning, it just has to come to the planning department. And they will, hopefully, there should be no hiccups with it. There'll be a public meeting, but it's for the public welfare, betterment of public welfare. Everybody wants better cell service. This has been something where, you know, we want to make sure that we have a lot of, because then you've got people talking and you know, things can get in the works. We're talking possibly in the, I don't want to say too much out there, but a lease of about $700 a month for 25 years. That's $210,000 plus a 0.5% bump every year. So, and I believe when we had spoke, I mean, this was a lot of my time negotiating on the phone, trying to get this worked out, at least to an agreement that I think would be acceptable to our planning commission. But like I said, they have to give us, it's acceptable to them, and they hopefully will fill out an application here soon.
So is there any notice requirement for the 300-foot rule, or no?
Yep,
Just
they'll have a
hearing?
they'll have a public hearing, yep, and then they'll do the 300-foot notice, which will affect maybe 3 parcels, I think, 3, 4.
Maybe 5?
Maybe. Yep,
Just
so,
across the street,
that'll be that.
it's probably 5 or 6. Everything else is pretty big.
Yeah, everything out there is really big. And it's, I mean, the value of that lot is not 25 grand, you're talking having, bringing an income of well over $211,000. So,
Over the life, and is that guaranteed for the 25 years, or
it's
could it be less?
it's 5-year increments, or 5-year term. So right now, what they suggested they wanted to do is a 5-year with 4 possible renewals. So
Is
it
it gonna
would
be a
25.
is it 5G? Is it 5G tower, or is it gonna be the new?
I don't know, that I don't know. That I
They're
don't
up
know.
to 60 now?
Yeah, they are, that's why usually, a lot of times those 5, they only go for a 5-year, because technology changes so quickly that, that stuff goes up and down, so.
And they, I believe there was some talk about possibly getting an 800 megahertz for the fire department space for them, that they can put something up there and attach something. That was one of the things I asked them to. I have not seen the agreement yet. I mean, nothing moves fast in the corporate world. That's where we're at with that.
How many other towers are in the community in Norman? How many other cell towers on private, or, we don't have any others on public?
I can think of 2. No, we don't have any.
Where are those?
Seaman, or
There's one right over there.
Seaman on
And
golf
then,
course.
does Cromer still have his? I don't think so. Who? Shannon? I don't know if they have, I don't know if there's one down south that way or not. There might only be one.
That was over in Irons that covers South End.
Might only be one then.
I think there's only one.
That seems like kind of close. To have it here.
But it would help our
There,
community, so
oh,
that's
so it's
why.
down that way.
Just to give you an idea, the owner of that tower, anytime our radio guys get in there to work on it, one of the phone companies get in there to work on it, they need 6 weeks notice.
Okay, we're putting the cart before the horse. Let's see if they make an
So
application.
something
They may
happens,
not come
that
back
tower
and
comes
respond
down
to
for
anything.
6 weeks.
Right, so, alright. So, Parks and Rec, you got anything?
Yeah, no, that
Okay,
we gave it on to, so.
alright. Planning,
Nothing.
okay. And zoning, still, I got 5 or 6 building permits in there right now for them, and like I said, they're working on that stuff, so.
Did we do management, the building?
Oh, no, you know, I missed that, here it is. Management council, let's see what the report said, sorry. Not much going on, a couple baby showers, or a baby shower, the hall floor will be done next week. Tim and, Tyler will be in here Sunday stuffing the floor, and they will be in here next week putting the floor down. And then there's a craft show in October. Okay,
Okay, so Tim and Tyler are gonna be doing that on what day?
Sunday.
Thursday or Sunday.
Okay, that's not a general day that Tyler works, and are we doing this at the same rate of pay?
Yeah.
Or, okay,
I
just
would say
making
so.
sure, because, work the transfer station.
I would think so, yes.
Construction's a little more skilled.
He's scrubbing the floor, moving the
Oh,
refrigerators and stuff, so it should be okay.
all right. Just
All right.
checking.
Okay, public comments. Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, you answered all the questions I had for you, so thank you for that. But my question would be for fire, if we respond to other townships and we're there for 6 hours, do those townships pay us for our services?
No,
So if we're spending more time in other townships than anyone else is spending here, we're eating the brunt of that bullet?
yep.
Do you think that's fair?
The reason that.
And I understand, servicing other townships, we help you, you help us, but it gets to a point
They
to
come
where.
here and help us.
Yeah, I know they do. I realize that.
And so, we've had South Branch Fire here more than we've been there.
Okay.
Dixon Fire comes to pretty much all of our fires here. Maple Grove, this year was the first year that we've been over there. We've been over there 3 times. And so, but if I need them here, it's all I have to do is call.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
And so they reciprocate, just like iron. You know, we've been on 6 structure fires in Irons this year. But Irons is one of my primary mutual aid units.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so as soon as we get called for a structure fire or a large brush fire, I collect my information from central dispatch, and then I make the decisions on who I'm gonna call on my radio as I'm headed here to the station.
Okay, so everybody for EMS and fire is state certified for what they're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the board ought to just go ahead and kick that rate to $25 an hour, period, because somebody gonna come in my house and it's on fire, I think to make $100 an hour, but I worked at a shop, and I told all the fire department when they brought them through Fort Tour, I said, just remember this space, because if there's a fire, I'm the first guy you look for. So,
Never know when that one fire is, you're gonna need it, you know, even if a forest fire or whatever. You're
But
gonna
I-
need it, or you're gonna need it.
I think those guys risking their lives deserve more.
There you go.
Yep, we had 10 other departments come.
Well, and Jack and I and Tim and all the officers were together when we first discussed this. It's also budgetary.
Generally.
20
Yep.
each, our budget can handle.
20 would make budget?
20, I think our budget can handle. 25, we would be pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
I think the guys are all
What we're doing is
underpaid.
We've been meeting 3 nights a month, and doing trainings and working on our trucks and stuff like that. So to offset this additional, wage, because we're all kind of getting burned out because we're so busy. To offset this wage, we're gonna drop down for a while to 2 training nights a month
Mhm.
instead of 3.
Yeah,
And so, you know, now we're gonna have, 6 to 10 people less for, for 2 or 3 hours a night,
yeah.
once a month. And so, we're gonna drop down to 2 nights a month, and then instead of the 3, that will kinda help offset the cost of the wage increase.
Jack, were you gonna do training for other municipalities? Didn't we get certified for training and set up to do like classes there?
Yes,
Yeah,
we, for fire training, we don't need anything, and I can let Ron go more into the medical stuff.
So that was for ambulance, because like, furniture, we bought a TV or,
Yep.
Video.
Yep, and
stuff.
we're doing medical trainings and, continuing CEUs for the medical stuff.
Just in-house, or
Yeah.
are we opening that to, I thought that there was the.
If somebody from another department wants to come to a continuing ed credit, I'm not gonna turn them away, I mean,
Are
We always
advertising
have,
that?
a lot of times we have,
the only time we advertise it
Charging
is,
for it?
I think the only one is when we're doing our big one for tree stand.
yeah.
And that's because we have the ability out here to do tree stand training.
We're one of the only departments in the county that have technical certified ropes rescue people. And so,
Are we certified to train that for other?
no.
Yes, we have 3 technicians.
Yeah, well, right, but,
Well, and Jack, these guys all, at their chief's meeting, he talks to the other, if another chief is wanting to have training or needs training, they're always welcome. I mean, that's the way the whole town, that's the way the whole county works. I mean, these guys all work with each other. You have what, chief meeting once a month? Or is it
every other month, yeah.
And they communicate with all these chiefs know each other, they all work really well together, and if they needed an EMT training, I know they all know Ryan, they know what they do.
Right.
And,
But we are not completely certified as a medical training center currently. It's still a lot of paperwork to go through the state, so.
Yeah, just know we paid to have staff go and train elsewhere. I was just wondering if there was a way that we could recoup some costs and get training done. I don't know, does everybody just get trained? Who gets to go outside for training, and how does that work as opposed to those inside trainings?
The majority of the time, the additional trainings that we're doing, if we go outside, like October, the casino has a, emergency, electrical vehicle
Right.
fire class going on, what you have to do for EV vehicles. That's paid for by the county. There is a MFR, medical first responder class coming up that the that the county is paying for. And so we have 3 members of our department going to there because it's paid for from, you know, the county is paying for it.
So we're primarily just doing the continuing ed, continuing credits.
Yep.
Where our guys,
For now, yep.
where our guys have went, like,
We've got plans on hopefully expanding, but that all takes personnel. And if you can't get the right people to commit to it, you're not good, because it's a huge commitment. And so,
Was any of that training, I don't know if the MFR, was any of that research through the program, did you ever know?
it's not costing our department nothing,
Oh,
because it's paid for by the Manistee County Firefighters Association.
You guys should be paid in our state training funds.
Yeah.
Every year, Manistee County gets roughly $18,000 for training. And then there's additional funds available in the form of grants through, it's called the Fireworks Fund. Every firework that's sold in the state of Michigan, there is a percentage that goes to the Office of the State Fire Marshal that provides money for fire departments for training. If I could show you the class list, but, it's too many pages to show, it's like,
yeah, I just know we did a big setup for
There's
training, and I didn't know where that
39
went, and
pages
how
of
that was
classes
working.
available.
Well, we're gaining, we're making headway.
Right.
Well, our computers that we bought and the data we bought was for continuing ed.
Yeah.
It was so that they could come here and do their continuing ed, that was what.
And we had
Where
firefighters
were they
going
going
through,
before?
we had firefighters going through academy, and the academy this year was virtual, and so, we had, and if the candidates who were taking the class, if they needed to, couldn't study at their house to do their studying for the firefighter class, they went to the station and did their studying and did their
And worked
work,
together.
their computer work on, at the station, and
Because the internet actually works over there?
I guess,
Most of the time.
most of them.
I guess the last thing I got to say is that if the cell tower is approved in that, is it gonna make it contingent that EMS is allowed to co-locate their tower, their antenna on that tower?
That was one of the points I remember talking to them about, so when we.
I think it needs to happen, just, you know.
It's such a big,
You know,
we have such a communication failure.
yes, so do I.
And, well, you're on your phone, we're trying to.
Yeah, I know, you're on EMS, that's why I say,
Yeah.
is that you guys gonna be able to use that tower, you know? I think that should be a
That was
strong
something,
stipulation.
Like I said, that was something that was.
Okay, I
talked
just
about.
wanted to-
haven't
wanted to
seen
make
it
sure
in
that-
negotiation yet, so.
And so it's a continuing thorn in my side with how it's done. They keep trying to make improvements, but they're not making the improvements in the right steps.
Yeah.
Putting the cart before the horse. And so, it's extremely difficult when we're out on an accident scene and we have to actually leave the scene to go back to our truck and communicate to central dispatch with
Yep.
the truck rate.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of stuff that can happen.
oh, yeah.
We spent a lot of money
Yeah.
upgrading radios and stuff, but it's been a failure of there.
It's not, we're doing everything we can do and to make it better, but we're just North Township.
Yeah. Well, I just think that, that as the board, that should be one of the stipulations, that if we approve your tower, you have to let these guys put their antenna up there also. I mean, it'd be
That
foolish.
was one of the things that we had talked about, they actually offered it to us.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be in the agreement.
See, we do there is a repeater for the old system on the tower over here by the golf course. But the problem over there is that tower gets struck by lightning all the time.
Yeah,
And so then that tower goes down, and then like Ron said, when it needs to be fixed, the owner of the tower requires a 6-week lead time to get in there to fix it.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we gotta limp through with
yeah,
a half of communication.
yeah.
And that was one thing we had talked about as access, that's what they wanted all over the property is access.
Yeah.
We'll have
So-
access
We're,
to their tower.
I'm hounding everybody I can hound and, to the short point of starting to piss people off.
Hey, you got my support. Like I said, I think you ought to get $25 an hour.
Ridley Horn may not even approach us.
Yeah, I agree.
They are probably doing hundreds of these throughout the country, depends on which ones, maybe they want to do it, maybe they wanna do it for years.
Yeah.
We don't know, so we're hoping the application has been sent. We talked a lot about stuff that we don't know if even is gonna come to fruition yet, so.
Well, thank you for your support.
No, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, so we can go, move on to new business. So, first one is fires. Let me get the right one here. So we have a resolution to adopt the fire budget for 24-25. So I'll have,
I'll make a motion to approve the fire.
okay, we gotta do that by roll call. So, you want to do that? No, you can't, here, I'll check them off. All right, Ty,
Yes.
Fraley,
Aye.
Scarra,
Aye.
Montgomery,
Aye.
Mobley, yes.
Who
Okay.
seconded that? I'm sorry.
What is today's date?
I haven't checked that.
9, 10. Okay, so there's that one. And then we need a motion to adopt the ambulance budget for 24-25.
I'll second it.
Okay, so Ty,
Yes.
Fraley,
Yes.
Scarra,
Yes.
Montgomery,
Yes.
Mobley's yes.
Thank you.
And then just send these off to Shelley or no, Heather.
I gotta get
Heather
her,
asked for it.
yeah, I gotta get her minutes too. And
Okay.
she's got the other stuff, that all 40-29 and the
Yep.
rest of it, so. Just waiting on her
Okay.
minutes.
Now we need a motion to approve the insurance package for the general liability, employee benefits, wrongful acts liability, property, automotive, and crime. So,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay. Is there ever gonna come a time that we do, get another bid? Well, how long have we been using these people, 25 years or more?
I was extremely busy this year and I did not get a chance to put them together.
In the future. Be nice to go to Travis bid.
Alright, so then number 4 will be, we have $15,000 in grant money. Part of that grant is for Leaf Mechanical to do $11,700 22K generator. The additional grant money to be spent on a new laptop and election supplies for the clerk to purchase. Anybody have any questions or a motion on that?
What generator system is that?
This was a Generac 2200, wasn't it?
We
What
have
is
a
it?
22 kilowatt Generac system through Leach Mechanical.
What is it? Is it the stationary one that the fire department has, or is it?
Yeah, it's a
one-
standalone.
It's a
just sits there.
standalone system.
Standalone.
I think the total,
It was 11,600.
11,638 or something.
So I said 11,700, and then the balance of the 15,000 can go for a new laptop, which you said you wanted to do.
Yeah, it runs on propane. That's what-
Yeah, that'll be the same propane. That's fully hooked up for Leaf Mechanical.
They do all the electric, everything. Leach Mechanical, if I remember on the quote, they will do it's in previous packets, they will do that, and I believe they will subcontract to Fisher for the propane line itself, I think. If I remember, the 22 kilowatt Generac was 10,000, 11.
11,006
Yeah, but
and
what,
some
I
change.
think the other one was only 10 something, and the rest of it was,
But who's doing the switch panel and all that?
yeah, it's their quote to do it all. I'll make a motion to approve the,
I'll second.
grant awards.
11,700 for the generator.
$15,000 to purchase the generator and election supplies.
Yeah, laptop and election supplies, right?
Yeah.
I'll take that. Alright, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Alright, firefighter wage increase to $20 an hour. Basically, it makes it really easy to pay, it's $20 an hour flat.
I'll make a motion to approve the, $20 increase.
I'll second.
Across the board for fire and ambulance,
It's for anybody in the
for
fire
training
department.
and all calls. Right? Okay, and second class.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Do we wanna do these last two together as under, well, I guess, yeah, cause it would be custodial, cause or do you wanna do them separate? 'Cause we have $1,090 for the cart and then $700 for Christmas lights.
I just wanna ask, are we in this, was there any more talk about the deal for the brush? The attachment? Brush. To kick the brush for around the lake and that?
I've tried to put out to some excavators to do it. Okay, so, talking with Tim and with some guys that run those things, when we back our tractor into that lake, it's not gonna work. Those flail mowers, if there's a stump or something, it'll damage them. If we wanna clean up the lake, the best thing would be to find an excavator, a mini excavator, find someone with a mini excavator, a small excavator with the armed flail. That they can set it down and it'll chew up a lot more. The flail mower itself, the drum and stuff, if you get into a stump that you don't see or something like that, plus then backing the tractor down, some of that gets really steep, it's not gonna do, it might be better just looking to do it. That's good stuff. That's kind of where, I think we talked about it, so, the flail mowers are great, they do everything really flat, but they're
I
not
think
great.
we
if you touch
mentioned-
rock or something,
If and after we got somebody in there with a piece of equipment,
something to
then we could
maintain.
possibly look into to keep, because I think there's a lot of areas that we can keep up on around stumps and stuff right now, and even the whole edge. I mean, one of those flail mowers that I looked at actually extends off to the side. If you go all the way around that lake up where people walk, you know, there's like a path that goes all the way around. You can clean up a lot of that stuff with one of those. And even around our fire station, we got all these little potholes and stuff growing.
You have to be really careful doing that, though.
As the sign.
If you take a piece of equipment and go down and start shoveling down around the edge of the lake, because you will get DEQ, or Eagle will be on your backside real quick.
That's why we've been doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Okay.
saying, I know
If you
that.
want, I can make a motion, but,
No,
are we gonna do
And
it?
it gets really, really expensive really quick.
I'll make a motion to do $700 for Christmas lights and $1,090.50 for the attachment for the leaf blower for the zero turn.
What was the total again, I'm sorry?
That's $1,791, let's call
And that's for the, what was that thing? Bracket.
it. The bracket and the lights. Two strands of lights.
700 for lights, holiday lights, and 1791 for
No,
bracket.
1190, 1791 total for,
If you're ordering it
Custodial.
from Amazon, don't forget to add tax, because they're gonna tax you.
plus tax, so we'll have some tax. Yeah, for the bracket and lights. Lights are 700 and the bracket is 1,090. Yep, plus tax.
Aren't you tax exempt?
And then you.
Not on
Amazon doesn't
Amazon.
offer it for government.
Freely.
You can for the piece of equipment,
Locally and
yes,
freely on that
Oh,
one.
okay.
but not for the Amazon. They're-
Yeah, foreign owned.
All right. So we did, I made it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a good night, everybody.